Princess Marie of Hesse by Rhine, was the youngest child and fifth daughter of Ludwig IV, the Grand Duke of Hesse, and his first wife Princess Alice of the United Kingdom. Her mother was the second daughter of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. She died of diphtheria at the age of 4 and was buried with her mother, who died a few weeks later of the same disease. She and Queen Victoria shared the same birthday. Biography. She had 6 older siblings: Victoria, Elizabeth, Irene, Ernest, Friedrich, and Alex. She was known as May in the family. When she was a baby, her mother remarked in a letter that little sister Maylie bore a strong resemblance to her dead brother Fritty at the same age, with such quick eyes and 2 deep dimples in her cheeks. A few weeks later, Alice wrote that baby Maylie had fair skin, light brown hair and deep blue eyes. As she grew older, she smiled frequently, and Alice thought she more strongly resembled her older sister Victoria, with fair hair, marked eyebrows and speaking eyes. Quote, "She and her sister Alex, 2 years older, made a pretty contrast." Quote, "Her mother thought her youngest child was enchanting, and as a toddler the little girl called her mother my sweetheart. Alex was her constant companion. The 2 girls were dressed alike and shared the nursery. The family enjoyed a trip to the seaside in the summer of 1877, and the 2 youngest girls were a source of delight to the mother." Sending photos taken then to her mother, Queen Victoria, Alice wrote that May has not such fat cheeks in reality. Still, it is very dear. The 2 little girl is so sweet, so dear, merry, and nice. I don't know which is dearest. They are both so captivating. Family tragedy. Tragedy struck the Grand Ducal family in 1878. As her sister Victoria described the scene later, the family had been gathered together on the evening of the 5th of November when she developed a stiff neck. Victoria reported her symptoms to the mother, who thought it might be mumps and said it would be comical if they all caught it. Victoria felt well enough to read Alice in Wonderland to her younger siblings, while her mother sat nearby chatting with her friend Katie Macbean, who was filling in for an absent lady-in-waiting. Marie leaped up and begged her mother to let her have more cake. Her siblings asked Miss Macbean to play the piano so they could dance. They danced for half an hour and went to bed in high spirits. The next morning, Victoria was diagnosed with diphtheria. At 3 in the morning on the 12th of November, 6-year-old Alex was diagnosed with the disease. Princess Alice ordered a steam inhaler be brought to her room to prevent the seriously ill Alex from choking to death. Hours later, Princess Marie ran into her mother's room, crawled into bed with her and kissed her. By afternoon, Marie as well was displaying the symptoms of the disease, suffering from a high fever. White spots and a white membrane covered the back of her throat. The next day her sister Irene became ill, and on the day of the 14th of November her brother Ernest and father Ludwig also became ill with diphtheria. Alice and the doctors nursed the family round the clock. On the morning of the 16th of November, Marie choked to death from the membrane covering her throat. Her mother, awakened by the doctors, hurried to the nursery, only to find her daughter dead. Alice sat by her daughter's body, kissing Marie's face and hands, trying to work up the strength to tell her ill husband. She watched as Marie's coffin was wheeled off to the family mausoleum. For weeks, Alice concealed Marie's death from the other sick children, who asked about her and tried to send the little sister toys. Elizabeth, who had been sent to stay with her paternal mother, was the only child who escaped infection. The sick children were finally told at the beginning of December that Marie had died. 10-year-old Ernest at first refused to believe the news and then broke down in tears. His mother hugged and kissed him, despite the risk of infection. On the 7th of December, Alice recognized the symptoms of diphtheria in herself. She died on the morning of the 14th of December, murmuring, "From Friday to Saturday, 4 weeks, my dear papa." Alice was interred beside her daughter. A statue by Joseph Boehm was placed on the tomb of Alice holding Marie in her arms. Titles, styles, honors and arms. Titles and styles: the 24th of May 1874 to 16 November 1878. Her Grand Ducal Highness Princess Marie Victoria Feodor Leopoldine of Hessen by Rhine. Ancestry.